Last episode, we covered Medicare Advantage and how private plans replace original Medicare. Today we are going deep on Part D, prescription drug coverage, because the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 transformed this benefit more than any legislation since it was created in 2003. Most people on Medicare do not yet understand the new $2,100 annual out-of-pocket cap, or the negotiated prices on 10 drugs that took effect in 2026.
Ada here. Part D has 3 phases, and the first is the deductible phase. In 2026, the maximum Part D deductible is $590. Not all plans charge the full deductible, and some plans have zero deductible, but you pay 100% of covered drug costs until you meet whatever deductible your plan sets.
Arjun, the second phase is initial coverage. Once you have cleared the deductible, you and the plan share drug costs. The plan pays its tier-based share, and you pay your copay or coinsurance for each prescription. You remain in this phase until your total out-of-pocket drug spending reaches the $2,100 annual cap.
Sarah here. The third phase is the catastrophic coverage phase, and in 2026, it provides genuine protection. Once your true out-of-pocket spending on covered drugs crosses $2,100 for the year, every covered drug costs $0 for the rest of the year, with no copay and no coinsurance. That zero-cost threshold is new as of 2025 under the Inflation Reduction Act.
Tobias, Part D coverage comes in 2 forms: a standalone prescription drug plan, or PDP, which pairs with original Medicare, or a Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan, or MAPD, which bundles drug coverage with your Advantage health plan. Both must meet CMS benefit standards. Stick around, because the formulary tier structure and the new negotiated prices we cover next are where the real savings opportunity lives in 2026.
One round of names, and then the real work starts.
Ada here. I will treat this topic as a living tradition.
Hun here. The harm you do not measure still exists.
Sarah here. I came to recommend, not to hoard.
Tobias here. I will re-ask the definition until it earns its keep.
Okay, preamble over. Straight to work.
The most important change in Part D in 2 decades is the elimination of the coverage gap, which was commonly called the donut hole. Before 2025, beneficiaries entered a gap phase after initial coverage, where they owed a higher share of drug costs, sometimes up to 25%, before reaching catastrophic coverage. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 eliminated this gap entirely starting in 2025.
The $2,100 annual out-of-pocket cap replaced the old catastrophic coverage structure, where beneficiaries still owed 5% of every drug cost indefinitely, no matter how high the total. Now, once you hit $2,100 in true out-of-pocket costs for covered drugs in a given calendar year, Medicare and the plan cover 100% for the rest of that year.
The insulin cap is separate from the out-of-pocket cap and applies immediately. Under the Inflation Reduction Act, all Part D covered insulin products are capped at $35 per month per prescription, regardless of what tier the insulin is on or what your plan's normal copay would be. This applies to all plan types and all insulin products covered under Part D.
There is also a new cash flow tool called the Medicare Prescription Payment Plan. Instead of paying large drug costs all at once, often in January and February when deductibles reset, enrollees can spread their total annual out-of-pocket drug costs into equal monthly payments across the year. You enroll through your plan, and CMS caps your monthly payment to smooth the cash flow impact.
Good point, Ada. The Inflation Reduction Act also introduced manufacturer rebates for drug price increases that outpace inflation. If a drug's price rises faster than the consumer price index for urban consumers between 2021 and the current year, the manufacturer must pay a rebate back to Medicare. Those rebates reduce overall Part D costs, and in some cases, reduce beneficiary cost sharing on those drugs.
Every Part D plan maintains a formulary, which is its list of covered drugs organized into cost tiers, and most plans use a 5-tier structure. Tier 1 covers preferred generics at the lowest copay, while Tier 2 covers non-preferred generics and some preferred brand name drugs at a higher copay. Tiers 3 and 4 add non-preferred brands and additional brand drugs, and Tier 5 is specialty drugs, which carry the highest cost sharing.
Tier 1 generics are the best value in Part D. Many plans offer Tier 1 copays of $1 to $5 per 30-day supply. If your doctor can prescribe a generic equivalent of a brand name drug, moving to Tier 1 can save hundreds of dollars over the course of a year, particularly after you count costs across both the deductible phase and the initial coverage phase.
One thing that surprises people is that the same drug can appear on completely different tiers at different plans. Your blood pressure medication might be a Tier 2 drug at one plan, costing $15 per month, and a Tier 4 drug at another plan, costing $75 per month. This is why comparing plans using your actual medication list, not just the premium, is essential before every annual enrollment period.
The Medicare Plan Finder at medicare.gov is the right tool for this comparison. Erica. You enter every drug you take, your dosage, and your preferred pharmacy. The tool returns every available plan in your zip code and calculates your estimated total annual cost, including the premium, deductible, and all copays based on your actual medication list. Run this analysis every October during the annual enrollment period.
Another coverage layer to understand is step therapy, sometimes called fail first requirements. D8. A plan may require you to try a cheaper drug before it covers the one your doctor prescribed. Chair. If the cheaper drug does not work for medical reasons, your doctor can request an exception. That exception request must be in writing, and the plan must respond within 72 hours for standard cases. The Inflation Reduction Act gave CMS the power to directly negotiate drug prices with pharmaceutical manufacturers for the first time in Medicare's history. 10. Drugs have negotiated maximum factor analysis of information, risk prices taking effect in 2026. The negotiation authority covers drugs that have no generic equivalent, have been on the market for a minimum number of years, and account for high Medicare spending.
The first 10 drugs with negotiated prices include Eliquis for blood clots and atrial fibrillation, Jardiance for diabetes and heart failure, Xarelto for blood clots, Januvia for type 2 diabetes, Farxiga for diabetes and heart failure, Entresto for heart failure, Inbrel for autoimmune conditions, Imbruvica for certain blood cancers, Stelara for autoimmune conditions, and insulin products.
The discounts relative to prior Medicare payment prices range from 38% to 79% depending on the drug. Wait until you see the actual numbers. Eliquis, which was the highest Medicare drug cost in recent years, carries a negotiated price more than 60% below its prior list price. For someone who takes Eliquis daily, that reduction cuts directly into out-of-pocket costs through lower coinsurance.
The negotiation program expands every year under the Inflation Reduction Act. 15 more drugs will have negotiated prices taking effect in 2027, and 15 more in 2028. After 2028, the program adds 20 drugs per year. Over time, this will cover a significant share of the highest cost drugs in Medicare, particularly biologics and specialty medications.
The people who benefit most from negotiated prices are those with chronic conditions who take one or more of these drugs year-round. If you take Eliquis, Jardiance, or Xarelto every day, the combination of the negotiated price and the $2,100 out-of-pocket cap means your total annual drug cost in 2026 could be far lower than it was in 2024 or 2025.
Part D carries a late enrollment penalty that surprises many people approaching 65. If you go without creditable prescription drug coverage for 63 or more consecutive days after your initial enrollment period closes, you owe a penalty of 1% of the national base beneficiary premium for every full month you went without coverage. In 2026, the national base premium is $37.90.
Here is the critical point, Ada. The late enrollment penalty is permanent. It does not go away after a few years, and it does not reset when you enroll. You pay it every month for as long as you have Part D. And because the penalty is a percentage of the national base premium, it grows automatically every year when CMS adjusts that base premium upward.
You can avoid the penalty if you had creditable drug coverage during the gap. Creditable coverage means coverage that is at least as good as standard. Part D, including employer group health plans, the Federal Employee Health Benefits Program, Veterans Affairs coverage, and TRICARE. If you had creditable coverage, you must be able to document it with a letter from the insurer or employer when you later enroll in Part D.
T. Even after you are enrolled in Part D, your work is not done, Sarah. Formularies change every October, so a drug on Tier 2 this year may move to Tier 4 next year, and a preferred pharmacy may be dropped from the network. Your plan mails an annual notice of change by September 30th. Read it carefully and rerun the Medicare Plan Finder comparison every fall during the annual enrollment period, which runs from October 15th through December 7th.
If you forget everything else in this video, remember, the $2,100 annual out-of-pocket cap is the most important Part D change in 2 decades, but it only protects you if you are enrolled in the right plan for your actual medications. Rerunning the Plan Finder every October takes 20 minutes and can save you hundreds of dollars. The penalty for skipping enrollment is permanent and grows over time. Drop in the comments, have the Inflation Reduction Act drug changes affected your prescriptions yet?
Okay, it is quiz time. Let's find out what's stuck. Think through each question carefully before you answer.
Ring the bell too if you want notified when the next episode drops. Like and subscribe first though.
Once a Medicare Part D enrollee reaches the annual out-of-pocket cap in 2026, what do they pay for covered prescription drugs for the rest of the year? The correct answer is C. $0 for the rest of the calendar year once they cross the $2,100 out-of-pocket threshold.
What is the monthly cost cap for insulin products under Medicare? Part D in 2026. The correct answer is A. T. $35 per month per insulin product, regardless of tier or plan type.
What is the Part D late enrollment penalty for someone who went without creditable drug coverage for 12 months after their initial enrollment period? The correct answer is C. 12% of the national base beneficiary premium added permanently to their monthly Part D premium.
Here is the core takeaway from today. Part D drug coverage now has a $2,100 annual out-of-pocket cap, no donut hole, a $35 insulin cap, and 10 drugs with negotiated prices taking effect in 2026. But it still carries a permanent late enrollment penalty and requires you to reevaluate your plan every fall because formularies change every year.
3 years from now, you will thank yourself for running the Medicare Plan Finder every October and finding the plan that covers your specific drugs at the lowest total annual cost, not just the lowest monthly premium.
Next episode, the one enrollment window that determines your coverage start date, and your penalty exposure for the rest of your life, and why millions of people misunderstand when it opens and closes.
If this series is helping you navigate Medicare, subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss the enrollment periods. Episode coming up next.
Don't forget to like.
I am Professor Erica signing off. Know your cap. Know your formulary. Know your penalty window.